A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
In this episode, Peter sharpens his wits and hunts for the truth as he gives us his conclusion on Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram.
We get down to business as the big publishers scramble for that Christmas #1 spot, and we chat about video games, the brand. And Fran takes a stab at Cyanide Studio's green-skinned assassin in Styx, Master of Shadows.
No!
Hi guys, and welcome to The Killer Bits. You find us today completely Rickless.
Which, as always, is a shame, as we love Rick. Rick, wherever you are out there, we miss you.
What else did we miss?
Well, we have missed Eurogamer. Fran didn't, she was there.
Fran was there.
Cue photo montage. She's had a great time, but what she has said, as our correspondent in London, is that there was a grand total of fuck all going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything there was a playable demo of games that come out very soon.
And the thing is that, like, it was the Tokyo Game Show a fortnight before, maybe even less.
Yeah.
And, like, that had, like, the Phantom Pain and Hideo Kojima talking at great lengths about, like, diamond dogs and taking our ashes into battle as diamonds. And
Perhaps the only game you're looking forward to this year.
he's a diamond in the rough.
You discovered a real diamond in the rough. I say we got a true diamond dog on our hands.
Actually, no, the only game I'm really looking forward to at this point is Smash Bros, which we're not allowed to show.
Oh well.
Well, we are allowed to show, but we're not going to.
I'm sure everyone out there has already been smashing away for a few days.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, yeah, good point. It's out, isn't it?
Yep.
It's out. Future Toby, eat. Remember, you have to maintain homeostasis to continue to play the game.
I'm not even going to bother talking to my future self. I've died a long while ago.
I was going to say, you're just surrounded by your own filth.
Absolutely.
With a 3DS.
Surrounded by my own filth, much like video game developers these
Wow,
days.
excellent. Excellent segue. Way to get us back on track.
Well, no, at EGX, you have your Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Yep.
You have your Call of Duty.
House of Cods.
House of Cods.
Yeah, which apparently is amazing.
Yeah, and they're all fighting for the Christmas spot.
Yeah, which is confusing to me because I don't really celebrate Christmas.
It's when you get children things. You don't have children.
No, I don't have children.
But I might get you something.
What would you get me,
Assassin's
Peter?
Creed Rogue.
No, please don't. Please don't. It's not even coming out on my favourite console, the Wii U.
Oh no, that's a shame. You know what it is? Bayonetta 2.
Oh my god, I actually can't
There you
wait.
go. That was another
But
big
this is the
ticket
thing,
game
like
for
these big businesses are coming in and they're spending like $500 million each on a game these days. That's a standard thing to do.
So much more than movies.
It's so much more than movies. Like the games industry is worth 3 times more than the movie industry, and that was the last time I checked. So it's probably gone up now.
Jeez.
But like, if you look at it, like these guys, they're competing with themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Ubisoft.
Okay. Look at what they're doing with Assassin's Creed, and then
Far Cry 4.
like they're within what, a fortnight of each other, and I can't afford 60 quid every 2 weeks to spend on, well, games about white guys stabbing people.
Yes, which are going to have the same map-based pick up a story mission wherever you want.
Exactly, like they're both like 20-hour games. So if you've got 20 hours worth of free time in your fortnight that can be spent on video games, then fucking good for you. Maybe you should pay for them, but you're not going to be able to afford them if you've got 20 hours worth of free fucking time.
I'm fairly certain around Easter time, each one of those games is going to have DLC, adding another 2 hours.
I can't wait for like Blood Yeti or whatever it's going to be.
Probably.
Yeah, it's quite funny actually.
They could mix the game series together.
Wouldn't that be great? Assassin's Cry.
I think they do.
Yeah.
The game is afoot in the latest in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes series developed by Frogwares. Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. With the jump into the new console generation, this game series has improved in a great number of ways that not only take advantage of the new console hardware to produce better graphics, but the gameplay elements are a lot more sophisticated too. A mechanic that seems to be inspired by the BBC series Sherlock, floating text now hovers over items of interest, showing the progression of Holmes' thoughts, whether he is guessing who is making the footsteps leading up to his apartment, or wondering why rubble would fall in a particular way. There are also flavours of Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes in the grittier, faster tone of the game compared to the rest of this series. You would think that these comparisons make the game feel a little derivative, but I would say that Frogwares has picked the perfect elements to translate into engaging and thoughtful gameplay.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
A good day, Inspector.
The Baker Street flat is much more detailed than before, with the messy clutter that you would not have associated with the homes in previous games, but works wonderfully with a new stylistic refresh of the series. The locations, controls and general investigations are still the same old, tried and tested formula. In many ways it feels like the previous game, The Testament of Sherlock Holmes, so fans of the old series will easily jump in and get to deducing. In fact, fans of adventure games in general will easily get to grips with the thorough interrogations and ruthless inspection that is often required.
Good day, gentlemen.
However, what is actually new? The player is treated to a few fantastic features that dramatically improve playability. Further from the old ability to swap from third person to first person, there are 2 more viewing modes available. Sherlock Vision shows us objects or areas that stand out to the detective, things that would be of little interest to the casual observer. The second new vision is an interpretation of Sherlock's imagination. This allows Sherlock to visualise the events of the case for you to see how things used to or potentially could appear.
It is elementary, my dear Watson.
There is a mechanic where Sherlock can interrupt a statement to pull out evidence to the contrary. Compared to perhaps the most famous example of video game interrogation, L.A. Noire, this is a lot easier to use and the clues are well defined enough to cause you to make very few mistakes, if any at all. Again, another great improvement to the series that streamlines the flow of the cases, which could otherwise be dangerously tedious.
We don't have many leads here.
Navigating the case files is simple. The tabs are clear and everything you need is presented straight away. Evidence is brief and to the point and has useful icons to let you know where they need to be used. This is a big feature and saved me from getting lost and wasting time often. For instance, if I found a gentleman's pocket watch which has the dialogue icon over it, then I know that I'll need to talk to somebody about it later, or even use it as evidence in an interrogation. Deductions are the next large improvements in the formula. When enough evidence is ascertained for a deduction to be made, you're invited to open the deduction space and join 2 known facts together to form a deduction. These are shown in the form of cerebral synapses that automatically link together to form questions that need answering or even conclusions to the case. Some deductions have multiple choices that lead to different conclusions. Drawing from the questions of morality in Dostoevsky's novel Crime and Punishment, which Sherlock reads on occasion in the game, there is a focus on both finding the correct culprit and then punishing him or her appropriately. Whether you leave it to Lestrade to book them or absolve them of their crimes, these are just 2 of many possible outcomes.
You're coming with me to the yard.
The game isn't without its flaws. There were a few too many glitches, and the beautiful level design does flake around the edges where design shortcuts have been made. But nothing in my entire playthrough ruined the experience, or made the cases unsolvable, thankfully. Early into the game I found a few puzzles far too simple. The game on the whole does hold your hand as often as possible to stop you from getting off course, but the levels are open and there is still a requirement for the player to do some actual thinking. Not a difficult request for anyone who plays adventure games, and paying attention to absolutely everything proves to be very rewarding, and gets the cases solved sooner. Definitely check out this game if you're into crime thrillers or even puzzle games. It's one of the most beautiful you'll play in a while. And please check out the full review on the Kilobits web channel.
The truth is often subjective, Mr. Holmes.
You have no idea.
So Peter, I'm going to do some Sherlock Holmes-esque deduction on you.
Please do.
In spite of the fact that I know you in real life.
Hit me with your worst.
I can see from the calluses on your thumbs, your jaunty facial hair, and your Vault-Tec Industries t-shirt that you are a man who enjoys video games.
Excellent deduction. It was the t-shirt that gave it away.
It was pretty much the t-shirt, yeah?
Yes, I like to brand myself as a gamer.
Yeah, well that's exactly the thing now, isn't it? Like, video games are now more than just toys for children and neckbeards alike. Now they are huge in every way.
Giant entities that you don't even have to play.
Like, who the fuck plays Angry Birds? But
Yeah.
I see so many kids these days just strolling around in their Angry Birds shirts.
More Angry Bird t-shirts than Mickey Mouse. It's crazy.
The thing that gets me though is like these huge crossover things. Like, if we're talking about branding, you look at Angry Birds. I mean, like, think of some brands that have been with Angry Birds now.
Brands. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
The biggest brand
The biggest
in entertainment.
Not only the biggest brand, LucasArts. Disney.
Disney.
Like these are 2 huge companies who are just money.
Yeah, just raining money.
Like, Angry Birds now has an anime.
Wow.
That is where we're at. In
Wow.
2014, Angry Birds has an anime.
Angry Birds, a game where you flick your screen to get up to 3 stars, has spin-off games.
Yeah.
Spin-off games.
Can you imagine? Like, I can see, like, you know, I suppose, like, when you think about it, though, like, an Italian plumber who runs from the left of the screen to the right of the screen has a racing game and a basketball game and a teacher's typing game.
He was the biggest brand of his time that wasn't Blue Hedgehog.
Yeah, we're not. Who shall remain nameless?
And now Angry Birds is the new one,
which is disgusting.
Are you just getting old?
Yeah, no, I've realised now that I'm actually getting really old. Like when I was a kid and you were a kid, we had like these cutesy cuddly mascots. Now we're talking about who the best gravelly man is.
Yeah.
Is it Soap McTavish or Battlefield Guy?
Battlefield Guy. No. it's Price.
Captain Price is the only reason to buy those games. Well, that's not true, actually. The good reason to buy those games is highbrow political commentary. Looking at you, Kevin. God, I'm really excited for that. should I be excited for that? Like that's a branding thing. Like I was sick and tired of the Call of Duty thing, and then they came in and they revamped it, and they were like, look, a power arm from Kevin Spacey, and they were just like, brilliant, let's explode out of the gates and just revolutionise things. The Assassin's Creed brand is now getting stale, so they're bringing in the other one. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs is a brand.
It's a brand.
They specifically said we have a new IP, a new brand. Yeah. When they brought up before Watch Dogs came out.
Like you could buy the Aiden Pierce iconic hat edition. I've got to stop air quoting. It's killing me.
Because you want to be like him.
I don't really want to be like him. Don't really want to get my niece killed.
Mad hacks with your iPhone.
I wish that I could iPhone hack security cameras to watch people from behind.
Jailbreak.
I'm not going to jailbreak my iPhone. Because then how could I play my branded games like Candy Crush Saga? Candy Crush Saga is now getting like 10k advert spots, like in prime time. The other day I was watching TV for the first time in like years and years and years. Wow. Well, I was around a mate's house and we were watching Judge Reiner and eating curry off our bare naked chests. And like this is prime time TV, and there was an advert for Candy Crush, followed by an advert for Clash of Clans.
Do you remember when Lara Croft would hold her bottle of Lucozade?
Yeah!
They used Lara Croft
with those
Lucozade.
Stupid circle sunglasses, but now you see like in-app advertisements for other things.
Back in the day it was weird.
Yeah, the dichotomy has reversed.
Now it's completely normal.
Yeah, brilliant. Like, you know, you'll be playing your Candy Crush Saga and swiping your fruit and being like,
Del Monte.
Guess I will go to Zynga.
Maybe you will.
It's completely fucking bizarre that video games have become that big now that other companies are using them.
Yeah.
Like, and then you've got games which are their own merchandise. Like, you look at Skylanders, Disney Infinity, you've got these kids going mental for things which are...
Oh, expensive.
Yeah, like, okay, so we have Disney Infinity 2.0
yes.
for the show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And how much did you say it would cost to buy all the Guardians of the Galaxy?
The Guardians of the Galaxy come in 4 or 5 separate packs. One is a multi-pack costing £30, and the rest of the characters... £18, making a grand total of £84 for the entire Guardians of the Galaxy set.
So, you know, you're a kid, you've seen the best movie of the year that wasn't the Lego movie.
Yeah.
And, which also was a great game.
Yeah.
Weird. Not criss-cross.
Well.
But, yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, you're a kid, you know, you've just seen your generation's Star Wars, because that's what it is at this point.
Basically it is.
Yeah.
Not that way.
And, you know, you've got Disney Infinity because, you know, you're a little shit and you've nagged your parents and you're, Mum, can I have Guardians of the Galaxy? They are made of plastic. How much could it cost? £84.
Yes. Big 4.
Tax.
And you've also bought the base game before that. It doesn't come with the game. That's just the expansion toys.
So now this,
£84.
So now this weird Little Big Planet-esque game is suddenly costing you hundreds and hundreds of pounds to keep on playing and updating.
To play with a brand you want to play with.
But these kids keep doing it. Ironically, the second Amiibos come out, I'll be doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to have them all.
The Guardians of the Galaxy didn't have a game tie-in at all.
Well, they did. It was called Destiny.
They now have...
Ooga Chaka.
They now have Disney Infinity because that's where Disney's going to make all of their money in video games.
That's genius, actually.
Absolutely.
Like, when you think about, like, they no longer have to make shitty tie-in games. They can make one figurine,
throw toys out,
charge you, like, 18 quid for it, and then make DLC.
Because they're Disney.
Thanks, Disney.
Thanks,
Actually, wait,
Disney.
aren't we Disney employees?
Oh, why not? That's
oh, fuck, we're with me.
Bam. Okay.
But no, I holy shit, we're Disney employees. Great. But no, like when you think about how big games are now, does a tiny part of your childhood just feel really vindicated?
Well, a little bit.
Like I remember, like
my mum still thinks it's weird.
Well, your mum's right.
Oh,
and pretty. But no, I remember reading Nintendo magazine system on like the bus on the way to school, and having like one of the bigger boys come up to me like, "What you reading, nerd?" And it was the most stereotypical moment of like a '90s childhood. I was like,
I didn't know you went to school in like America in films.
I was gonna say, what, in 1950s America?
Yeah.
Look at you with your baseball cards. Dweeb. I don't know what dweeb means. Dweeb.
Who's the dweeb now?
Yeah, who's the dweeb
The
now?
guy in the Fallout shop?
Yeah. Is it the guy in the Fallout shop? The guy making steady money on a building site, supporting his family? Oh, well, still us.
But he plays COD.
Yeah, because everybody does.
With yet another iteration of Assassin's Creed on the horizon, RPG stealth games have proven successful. Cyanide Studios' latest offering, Styx, Master of Shadows, puts an interesting fantasy twist on the genre. The game is set in the Tower of Akanash, a stronghold defending the World Tree, the source of much coveted amber. This tower is guarded by elves and humans alike. You play as Styx, the first ever goblin who thrives upon amber, using it to perform a variety of abilities, which make your role as tree burglar just that little bit easier. Styx is not a fighter, and that becomes apparent when detected by more than one or two enemies. Instead of duking it out, you must sneak through the levels, taking out the bad guys when you can, but ultimately avoiding detection and completing objectives. To do this, you are equipped with an arsenal of items and abilities. Styx himself can utilize amber to create a clone in order to distract NPCs or flip switches. He can activate amber vision to highlight useful interactable objects and enemies. He can even turn invisible for brief periods of time at a high amber cost in order to move around unseen. In each level, you are vastly outnumbered and must make quick and clever choices in order to progress. One wrong move and you'd be caught, and detection easily leads to death. Thus, when you do pull off that series of sneaky maneuvers you initially found so challenging, the satisfaction is tangible. And this is just the initial layer. Skill points are earned throughout missions, allowing you to level up Styx and gain new abilities. Whether they be improving your use of amber, earning more ways to kill the baddies, or upgrading your inventory to more effectively use items. This allows the players to adapt Styx to suit their playstyle, whether you like to slink through the shadows or pick off guards one at a time. The game is well fleshed out. There are hours of gameplay with such a plethora of different routes, tactics, and secrets that no two players will play the game the same way. I found myself favouring stealth in some scenarios and ruthless murder in others. The game has enough unique features that it doesn't really feel like anything else I've ever played. But I can say that the gameplay is Styx, Master of Shadows' truest strong point. The storyline, however, feels a bit lacking. My purpose in the tower is explained mission to mission, whether it be to steal maps, or a key, or find the hideout, but the overarching storyline doesn't grip me. Whilst I enjoy sneaking about and stealing things, I don't really care why. I don't care who Styx is, or why the elves and humans have allied to defend the amber. Overall, the story is just a bit This may be due to the cutscenes, however. Truly janky lip-syncing distracted me from the plot, and it is unsurprising that at points it swaps from animated scenes to artistic stills which pan and zoom.
Besides, one shouldn't go too far.
As someone with a dwindling patience for stealth, I found the gameplay engaging and varied and ultimately good fun. This was enough to overshadow the simplistic storyline and minor issues which detracted from the overall experience. Styx has snuck onto my radar and gained a kilobit seal of approval.
I really hope Fran will keep helping with these videos as we need to review all of these pre-Christmas releases.
Yeah, I can't wait to be one of several white guys beating up on impoverished nations.
Shooting.
This holiday season.
Patch DLC.
That said though, it's not just, it's not just the run up to Christmas, it's not just review season, it's also Shocktoberfest.
Ba-da-da-da. We have horror games aplenty.
Yeah, we do, because it's October, which apparently is horror.
And we know you want to see us cry.
Well, yeah, as anyone who watches the channel will know, Fran is a giant wuss, and I can't wait to see her trying
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so nice. But the trouble is, I'm actually a giant wuss. Like, look at the PT video.
We're going to be crying as well. We have a Let's Cry pretty much every week.
Holy shit. I mean, there should be one coming out today-ish from
absolutely.
your pile of shame.
My pile of shame, I'm looking at a Steam indie horror title. just going to cry.
Brilliant.
Just
Those
crying.
4 words. Hang on, wait. Steam indie horror title. Yeah, 4!
And we're there. And, Toby, you're doing your own horror.
Well, that's the
series
thing.
as
Well, I suppose you can call it horror. It's Deadly Premonition.
Well, horror's in the title.
You can watch it. It's replaced Dark Souls Sunday because I have the best taste, I guess. Holy shit. But yeah, if you want to keep your eyes peeled for all these new glistening releases, then you can hit that subscribe button right
somewhere there.
Could be anywhere.
Actually, yeah. What are you doing?
YouTube, help.
But you can always hit a thumbs up.
Help, we're in a box.
That's probably staying as well.
Yeah, almost definitely.
Absolutely. But you can also follow the action on Facebook, facebook.com/thekillerbits.
And Twitter, twitter.com/thekillerbits. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I can't believe we made it through an episode without Rick.
Look at that. Maybe we could do next week's one without Rick.
Maybe we could do all of them without Rick. We're not going. We love you, Rick.
Yeah, no, come back.
Yeah.